Can you set an
All right, for that, we go will get chance for talk behind the scene.
Sierra Leone, push. You my killer, this is for them. What for you say?
This ain't not a kush. No, not a kush. No, not a kush. Oh yeah, me I can feel them. What are they run me eye? We are the see me sister them. They die in the street. Oh, me I can feel them. We are the see me brother them in the streets. Yeah, some they link they not. Some lay down a guts at the sleep. Oh. So when I ask them, tell me say na kush. Nike pull roll and son of them food. They prefer for left the horse, them gonna get so all day they push. Oh yeah, say not a kush. Me brother don't want before in time. Say not a kush. So we they use the old age man youngest. Say not a kush. Youths them just they die. Say not a kush. Sorry Salone. We say that's a cushion. Hey, push for die. Say that's a cushion. Papa government help we are. Say that's a cushion. Hey, push for die. Say that's a cushion. Hope for you to say, is it on? That's all we say. Say make we rap cushion Salone. But we life them.
That is so right, yeah now. What's if they do? When we bother them, they die. Push them down the hill, now them body just they try. So foot at them body, they and they just they cry. Now we bother them foot so they swell, now why? I don't know if now the chemical or what's in them they put. Best now for avoid them, nothing but the truth. Other food and they for it, come up and kush. We still bring this message so you do work for you.
Every day we they lost it, man, their life because of kush. Yeah, Papa government, NGOs not come so we aim. Yeah, you way they import kush. You know like Salone, no. Now we value we like Dr. Isaac would say.
That's a cushion. Me brother don't want before in time. Say that's a cushion. So we they use the old age man youngest. Say that's a cushion. We say that's a cushion. Hey, push for die. We say that's a cushion. Papa government help we are. Say that's a cushion. Hey, push for die. Say that's a cushion. Hope for you say.
Papa government, only one day where they bring camp, anyone there where they sell them, only. Papa government jelly. They don't keep plenty youth, then I will learn. Innocent youth, them is saying I will learn. Spiritual leaders, them is saying I will learn. What they doing? They to fight the men. They come and feed you cushion. What you have in my bed for? Be a to bed. They have it a number.
Mamonga, Ushibwele, Mamonga, Papa government, Amupema, Mamu Manja, Mamupema, Kushihinde, Abubualo, Ushibwele, Abenyeni, Numalo, Abuli, Numalo, Abu Malo.
Say that's a cushion. Me brother don't want before in time. Say that's a cushion. So we they use the old age man youngest. Say that's a cushion. Youths them just they die. Say that's a cushion. Sorry Salone. We say that's a cushion. Hey, push for die. Say that's a cushion. Papa government help we are. Say that's a cushion. Hey, push for die. Say that's a cushion. Hope for you to say.
Me a one pan, I traumatized. Look, find a boy with the parts. They may need so, but I wouldn't go take. Anyway, take I don't know.
Mature. Now where we sing for a brighter future. So let me say no to. Let me say no to.
Fumble them. On a good evening. On a good afternoon, on a good morning. I hope say this house on a friend on herself. I hope say, life is treating you guys well. I hope say, that, despite the boast bass, the up and down, the chaos, that you've taken time to take care of yourself, to reflect, and to be present. To be present. Well, I know will take much time today, as today I get with me as soon as self don't see from the flyer there. I get one big allejo with me today at the studio. Uno go remember say during the 2024 election, Binkaya so he can't say wetin in feel say that election they stand for. And inside there, it tell we whose candidates he endorse, and it tell we the reason we make he endorse that candidate day. And I've been asked and front to know say where the election done, no matter how the results come on, you go need for come back and can tell we waiting in think or waiting he feel. Before we sit down inside the kotoku proper, I go want for make una know for say today I not get no less a person than Professor Dr. Prince IC Bull na the studio with me, Dean College of Education, na North Carolina, USA. So Professor, I want make you tell family I do.
Me Salone people, on Audo and on Kusha, and I'm glad for take this opportunity for can talk to me comping Salone people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. So I know for say some people and go say, the last show it be in dispute whether an educator, whether a teacher. I not bring and can I also for can talk about whether an educator and whether a teacher. Okay, and make because I know the way how some people like in think. He go say, hey, when I see and I don't go bring dim cam for make it can. No, there are lots more things to talk about. And I make I don't preamble for una. But before we sit down inside proper, so I can always know for say every time when I sit down, I so the first thing what they do, they tell una waiting at the drink. So today na raspberry tea na the drink, and una know for say the place don't cold. So na me own part na raspberry. Na get raspberry tea na I get for use for do the show today. I don't know what you una go to take now on your own side, but whatever you do, please make sure that you are drinking something, that you are putting liquid into your system. Not only the liquid go carry go hospital, the liquid will go make you air. Okay? So before we sit down inside proper this discussion, so I want to make Professor Bull, I want to make you take a minute and tell Salone people them who that na you. If I tell Salone people them who that's na you, sometimes they then go feel say I they read from waiting, I go fen. But you not a stranger to Salone. Now inside Salone you born. First of all, when they see the name, then go feel to say na inside Freetown you born. But I want tell them go far. Since I get a show where they come we say Salone we all na one family, make I begin one thing. And I want make you tell them. I'm not talking about the man. I'm not talking about the dean. I'm not talking about the father. I'm not talking about the husband. I'm now saying the son of the soil, Prince Isiboro. Tell us who you are.
Well, thank you, Miss Matilda. Yeah, I'm born in the Bo District, Kakwa Chiefdom, which will come like a surprise to many people, and raised in Freetown, attended the Regent Square Municipal School, which I'm proud of. And my experience at the Regent Square Municipal School now shape my advocacy till this day. I started Regent Square in 1966, right in the middle of the formation of political parties. The SLPP office, Minde Battle Street, the APC office, Minde Percival Street. One street line separates them. So you could imagine the experience we get as elementary school during 1967, when during that period there were several upheavals and coups and things, and how many times we parents they run go take we in a school, how many times they fire bullets that we come hit with school building. And we know of Regent Square School picking the way they shoot, where either die or maimed for life since 1967. And I witnessed all of that. And when I left Regent Square, I went to Sierra Leone Grammar School. And during that period, the formative years shaped also during the Shaka Stevens era. And we witnessed at that point in time the transformation of the power of youths during a major upheaval in the country, where no college, no school, which was very, very transformative during the Shaka Stevens era, and also see the transformative growth of Sierra Leone and also the gradual deterioration. Then I went to Fabe College, and during my years at Fabe College, we also experienced a lot of upheavals, of which we addressed several issues in Fabe College, but it was also shaping with mindset to be leaders and advocates in our country. Little did we know. And then after that, I went to the government secondary school, technical. Well, before I get to Fabe College, I went to the Methodist Boys High. And I let them Boys High School boy and things, say I avoid them. I did Form 6 at Boys High School in those days before I went to Fabe College. After Fabe College, I did a diploma in education, and I taught for 4 years at the government secondary technical school. So in many ways, and I grew up at the Brookfield, Stambertown, New Englandville area, in a Western man. So I understand the plights of youths, the plights of people. And I see the struggles, and those struggles have not changed since 1967, when I'm in a baby, where I watch how they use youths for chap themselves with cutlass and things, and nothing has changed in 60 years. And this is what they drive me to say, we need to make a change. We need to be advocates of our country, and we need to take onus to help government to lead and to develop. And so when I came to the US, I found myself fortunate. And I always ask myself the question, if I'm fortunate for come to the United States, what would have happened to me, my children, and my family? Those questions haunt me every day because I consider myself lucky. Because the one day I go school with, Regent Square, the grammar school, and Methodist Boys High School and Fabe College, we not get the opportunity we may get for come America are struggling in Sierra Leone. And so for me, I take it as an ordained ministry to fight for the marginalized children, youths, girls, young people. To say it could be my children, and if it could be my children, and I'm going to help my children, the youths of Sierra Leone are my children, so I help them. And so that has been my journey. And so lately, I decided to get into politics the last 6 years.
Okay,
Initially,
so I'll stop you right there. Lately, you decided to get into politics the last 6 years. I will stop you right there. I think say there will be time for us to get there. I just want to make you tell the people about yourself a little bit, introduce them, this, that, take them through a journey. So make them understand, say, the person we sit down so not a person we novice, we new to Salone or new to the things them of Sierra Leone or new to the issues of Sierra Leone. Right? And also that na person we very well read and can articulate, can analyze, and don't they into different things. I want to give you, I want to ask you a question with a curveball. Now we get this pandemic in Sierra Leone, really, this public health crisis, when a push, where we young people, inside the country, with future leaders, them of tomorrow and leaders of today, are both consumers of this very dangerous, drug. Up until now, as a nation, we not devise a strong or robust set of system or policies for address or tackle, this disease. Recently, I see the government, they make some moves, for bring about awareness, trying to put in place strategies and policies to address, drug abuse and all these psychological, implications that they can lead to. However, recently, as part of an organization where they call Hope for Youth, and you go tell me what's in a Hope for Youth, where this Kush epidemic begin, this organization always they jump on board and then take them as their own personal agenda for make sure say this senior, so this poison we don't carry inside with society be controlled as much as in their capacity. And when I say their capacity, I'm meaning Hope for Youth's capacity, for control. But inside this control system, for try forget we youth them better, there was also something amazing that happened in this process. Hope for Youth as an organization help participants within the organization apply for the DV visa to the US. Now, I took one question I asked you. The vision of Hope for Youth, seeing the need, not waiting for government to react, but knowing the importance of an action, taking action, while at the same time providing an avenue of opportunity.
So thank you very much. It's a very broad question, but I will dissect them. But before I do, I know members of Hope for Youth are all huddled around their devices in Sierra Leone, the born expensive data to listen to the things that I say tonight. So to our Hope for Youth team across Sierra Leone, from Kenema to Kono to Tonkolili, Cambia, Bombali, Moyamba, Bo, Bond, Pujeon, I say to you, kudos, keep up the good work. Ona reflect the true image of waiting Sierra Leone stand for. The beauty of Sierra Leone, the intelligence of Sierra Leone, the drive of Sierra Leone. Ona the work day and night. Day and night. Ona the use on our resources. You guys are unemployed. defend Anton Mott, but when it comes to the call of duty for COVID, you guys are there. For election, you guys are there. And now for Kush, una dey save lives. Una don't visit well over 100 schools and touch the lives of over 20,000 elementary and secondary schools. They una dey visit in the Freetown area. Una don't span from Wellington to Kisii to Kutoro to Dwazak, all the way to Jue, all the way to Juba. Una they do an amazing work. You see, our principle is simple and is based on John F. Kennedy in statements to Americans when he said, and I quote, "Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country." End of quotation. Simple. This is what is driving hope for youth. We not wait for ask waiting. Salone don't do for we. The youths are not waiting even though they are unemployed. We have strong, resilient youths. And I see them, they work hard. They do movies, they do clips, they do songs. You know, if I start calling names now, I would call names till the show ends. But hope for youths, I just want you all to know. Our goal is to build transformative and visionary leaders. And at the empower these youths around from Bond all the way to say, don't sit back. And I'm proud to say in the last election, hope for you to get their first elected councillor in Cambia. And that is because we are driving. We don't care about the political party. We just want people with vision, people who would articulate to help youths, women, and children. And so because the youths are working so hard and I not see trajectory for them for leave the country, you know, through my contact, I talked to a company now Texas, Smart Keeping, which is relative and related to me in a way, and asked this person to say, if I file the DV for Sierra Leonean workers, would you sponsor them to come employ them until they get their footing so that they would go back and help Sierra Leone? Because we do look for ways to help Sierra Leone. And I get a full assurance that if they win the DV, they're any for come America. They will provide their tickets, they'll provide their housing, and they're going to pay them handsomely, almost $25 an hour, to work in the US and pay back that money, settle their lives and their family. And I'm proud to announce that Hope for Youth filed 35 DVs, directly individuals, and with family members, it came up to close to 60 people. Because we want to give hope. And I define hope as the H in hope is for your health, the O for your opportunities, the P for your possibilities, and the E for empowerment. And the youths believe that. And so it is that drive that we are taking to say, don't wait for the government, don't wait for others. And next year, in June, we'll be celebrating our 4th anniversary. And people ask me, have you been to Sierra Leone since you started this organization? And I said, no. Do you know these people? The answer is no. Have you ever met them? The answer is no. They say, how does it happen? I say, it's a ministry of God. I do receive sponsors from across the country, and I have sponsors and Cotton Tree Pharmacy. Kudos to you for believing in the youths of Sierra Leone. Because Cotton Tree Pharmacy believes so much in the youths of Sierra Leone that they give them employment at the Kenema Recovery Pharmacy and the Bo Recovery Pharmacy. And I are 9 of the female youths. And I want to say, I'm proud to say, this November, make them 1 year where they work. We not get no problem, nobody was dismissed, and prior to that, all these youths were unemployed. So it's all about the owing opportunities. And once you give them the possibilities that they are, you empower people. And that is hope for us.
Thank you very much. So, for the people where they watch anytime where I see during any of my show, I take a minute, I take a moment to talk about Hope for Youth Sierra Leone. You know, I make the Kush video, you know, me intro team, and I say until we smash out, you know, you know, poison our society, or at least we put them under control, and I go say I go continuously there. They play this video, and I go continuously they advocate for to una make una go na the Hope for Youth website, make una make any form of donation whatsoever. We are not asking, we know they say una there is a limit to what you can give. And the reason why they say we know they say is because several times, and I know for say I like for be transparent, several times I don't tell una for say me na Hope for Youth, me na part of Hope for Youth from the inception, like when I can say na also America from the jump, right? So from the jump I was there and I've been there, and by the grace of God, I'm not going anywhere. So show me a Sierra Leone born bred organization where so invested in the youth, in the development of the youth, where now they go seek sponsorship and then half of the administrative costs they go into the donations the way then they receive. I will tell you that this organization does not take a penny. We know they use one kobo, not even one drop water for administrative costs from any of the donation received, because all of the administrative costs then anything is pro bono free. We ensure say 100% of what is given to the organization goes back into youths all over Sierra Leone. All over Sierra Leone. Remember, I not say all over Freetown, I say all over Sierra Leone. You go na the website, and I go see the length and breadth of the places we covered, the provinces, districts, that we covered. Show me an ingrown organization where, the person who birthed the idea, right? Not ever step foot inside Salone for see any of the people that were involved in the organization for 4 years. 4 years. Don't even know these people. As a matter of fact, if them people also team up before and today, including me self na where they talk. Sometimes no more, the only reason we go maybe something will trigger is because we have what you call maybe videographic memory, right? Image memory. That okay, maybe I don't see this person in picture, it resembles somebody where they, and even to be sure, you go back for ask the question, Hope for Youth member first, because you can't assume, right? Never seen these people, never seen any of those youth, terrific individuals, where they do amazing things then at the community, going into the prison cell, counseling, young people, working for their communities, engaging in farming, like you can say Hope for Youth, through collaboration and partnership, 9 young women them don't gain, good revenue, good earning power, for 1 year now. That is 9 young women that is able to lift her family, and it trickles down, right? Show me an organization where say, I look inside with Salone Youth them, I see a possibility. 35 sponsorship application. If they win, they are willing to take on the cost of sponsoring them into America, give them housing, give them lodging, provide for them employment while they get themselves stabilized. So as then they walk, small, then they're able to pay back their fare and then stabilize themselves into a new life. So sometimes it's not about the talking, sometimes it's about the action and the actions behind those actions. I want to make we segue. You are an educator. You've been within the field of education for decades. You understand the difference between someone who is a teacher, a professor, an educator. You know the difference. I'm not going to sit here and try and explain that to you or school you on that, because that's what you've done for donkey years, as we can call them inside Creole, until or donkey years. Tell me, Usa, you feel say with education system currently day Usai you think say we suppose for binde, and wetin you feel say we go do for reach Usai we suppose for binde. If we know the Usai we suppose for binde. We
But
know the
before
hear
we
you,
do,
sir.
you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, before we do, let me wrap up on the Kush because there are some significant things where they happen. I think the average Italian get for no. I mean, about 50 youths that die a day across the country from Kush. Recently, if I may follow the news, the government bury um, several unidentified
12.
youths and 12 youths, women, and children. We don't nobody able to identify. And the youngest, I think, was 12 years old, projected. My fellow Sierra Leoneans, let us think about a 12-year-old pikin we homeless, we die. In mama no ala say me pikin loss. In papa no ala say me pikin loss. And no get brother, and no get sister, and no get auntie, and no get cousin. It did a mortuary, then bury am as unidentified. That tells us we have a bigger problem, in Sierra Leone, of homelessness and orphans. Beginning with us, it pass na treat, and you could imagine the assault, the violence, the rape we accompany those issues. And it is really scary on all of this front. And we are appealing to the government. The government get the equipment, it get the resources, it get the armed forces, it get the internal forces. We know they know side that they sell this kush.
Yeah.
You know, if the government take the heavy hand, which we would support them, if anybody there they sell cookery, anybody go buy the cookery, they say for they die, 1 die, 2 die, 3 die, 4 die, whether they go buy this cookery. At some point in time, the government will hold now where they sell cookery for manslaughter or murder or investigator. This is what is happening to our youths, that they go buy a substance where they kill them. And we are not doing anything. It's time that the government implement tougher laws like manslaughter and murder. If you sell kush, somebody take a die, you are going to be charged. It happens in the US. Whether you are voluntarily buy it or not, the substance should not be laced with poison that should kill you. Yeah. So that itself is a crime. And the government should also institute any also where they sell drugs, confiscate them. Then landlord go tell you, say, go sell it, it's not kind of news. Because when you start doing those things, you are helping the youths. People that they die, that they tell me that Brian Lane, that they go back picking their way, they cannot identify the way that they fall on a tree die. It's painful. So let's segue to education. First of all,
I just want to say, before you continue and segue to education, I just want to say, everything what Dr. Bull just said, you know, I've repeated it 100 times in breadth and length. So there is nothing. We get forget agency. That word we then call having agency. We get forget individual agency, and we get forget a national agency in Sierra Leone. We lack that thing we then call agency, sense of purpose. Continue, sir.
Yes, as it relates to education, you know, our education now watered down to the point that I get communication from graduates then I think when I'm in class 6 now Regent Square Municipal School, I could write even better. It's scary that our education is so watered down that even this WASC result will come out, only 15% of all the students at the entire Sierra Leone we take the exam pass English. 15%. So for every 100, 85 Pekin fail. Okay? And it's only about 25% of all the students who take the exam that the one who Salone get enough credit to move further into any level of tertiary education. And it is so sad that within education in the US, the Sierra Leone diploma has no value outside of the US, out of Sierra Leone. It's always questioned because of the rampant corruption, and the lack of qualified people for teach. We don't blame the teachers. You know, you cannot make chicken salad out of chicken feathers. I mean, society in some areas where they try for cheat on the exam, but the teacher so incompetent that they make the beginner fail with a spy. Because instead of not get the knowledge. So when the teacher says shade B, the answer wrong already. So you are trying to cheat, but we have to challenge our teachers to even take the exam with the beginner they take. For let we understand how void and how watered down our educational system is. But let's talk about where we are with free education and quality. We keep saying free and quality education. Hope for you to not open me your eyes so bad. There are areas in Sierra Leone that since they make mankind, there's been no education in some districts. So not blame independence. The education not been there before independence. Education not there post independence. Education not there for the last 62 years. No schools inside this would Sierra Leone. And we talk about free education. For an educational system to be robust, there are 5 qualities you must have outside being free. One, it has to be accessible. It has to be accessible. You can get access to the education. When you go up into the provinces and some chiefdoms, you don't get teacher there. And then you talk about quality. And then the education has to have rigor. And then it has to have relevance. And let's talk about relevance, because I think that's what is important. An educational system should align with your economy and your resources. So if we have to have a viable education, first of all, we should have a diamond degree like Sierra Leone. We should have a degree that deals with mineral resources, mining engineering, fisheries, timber. Those are the degrees that we need so that we'll be able to mine our resources. We need to have process engineering so that first layer of bauxite, rutile, iron ore, all of those things could be processed in Sierra Leone. But we don't have the manpower and the people to do it. Therefore, we don't even know what to do because we have, Sierra Leoneans are brilliant. Let's give credit to that. We are innovative, we are ingenious, we have all the qualities to compete with China and Japan giving the same education. I mean, some of us women that struggle in our school came out here and succeed at the highest level. I was not the best in my class, nor would I consider myself brilliant. But because of the strong education I received right up to Frabe College in 1980, graduate degree and postgraduate, breeze for me in America. I don't think we could say the same. So we have to revisit our education. We have to train our teachers, pay them more money, increase the qualification so that we have good people teaching. And I think the government should look back and say 15% of the beginning they passing, I think we need to focus. Anybody who wants to study English at Frabe College or any university should go free. Because we have to make sure that from elementary school through university, we strengthen that base of English communication and writing, and we strengthen the quality. With all kind, the amount of information, the irregularities, the ineptitude. I talk to some teachers the way I communicate with that, when they tell me, say, me not teacher, but if NGO give me work, I left me teacher work do my coca, I day 2-3 weeks, I not go teach until they pay me, I come back. It is happening. When a teacher go do my coca for an NGO, nobody know they teach the beginning. Teachers don't go to school to teach, and they ask the students for money. Corruption is so rampant that teacher they beg SS1 Pekin money for paper and for let them show them grade. We've lost our soul in education. We could still build it because we are very intelligent. We are very highly intelligent people. And all it takes is just a touch of rigor, quality, and relevance. But we need to start having relevant degrees that are gone are the days of international relations in Greek and Roman and African history. Those degrees don't take you anywhere. We need a degree in fisheries. We need a degree in timber resources. We need a degree in forestry. We need a degree in diamond polishing mining certificate. We need a degree in mining engineering. We need a degree in processing minerals in Sierra Leone. Once we do those things, it becomes relevant, and we forget about all of these African, European history and international relations that take us nowhere. Our education has no value. We don't specialize. We need to bring specialty into medicine. Every doctor we produce are generalists. We don't have oncologists. We don't have, I mean, we have ways to go. We can do it, but we have to focus on the right things to do. So the foundation is there because of the intellect of the Sierra Leoneans. And I cannot blame the teachers and the principals, but if you don't have the foundational piece to build upon, you don't produce highest quality. And I talked to somebody recently, they talk about this Becker exam and all of those things to go to SS1. I don't understand a whole lot of it. But at the end, they say schools in Freetown cannot even populate their higher level schools, like Convent, like Annie Walsh, like Prince of Wales. Somebody go Prince of Wales from 1 to from 3, can't pass to go into higher education in Prince of Wales. The same with Annie Walsh, the same with other schools. Something is fundamentally wrong with our process. And I think we just need to buckle down and have quality administrators and quality teachers and pay teachers more and hold them accountable. America, when you begin and fail, you, the principal, get fired or transferred, period. You have to have that accountability at all levels. So, I mean, I cannot criticize the educational system. I'm just saying it's watered down because we are not producing high quality professionals.
We are not producing high quality professionals. So you say for education for work, you say it need for be accessible too. You say it need for be quality. You see you need it get forget to Google, it get forget quality, and it get forget relevance. Number 3, I not get waiting at the number 3, number 4, and number 5. So if you can just repeat 3, 4, and 5 in summary for make we viewers then get that one day. I think
Yeah, free education. Free education helps because people cannot afford to pay, which is good. But when it's free, it has to be accessible. The beginning and therefore be able in a village, forget the school. Waka go to school, you know, only the school they 10 miles. And how do you bring school to the people in the village and the remote areas? It's not about Freetown and the big cities. It's about the villages where we are leaving our children behind. And then you have to have the quality. Quality talks about the building, the resources, materials to teach, and the rigor, the exams that you take. You spy, or you get for bribe teacher for pass, or because some non bribe teacher today they don't be big man in our country, and they cannot produce, they cannot write. You give them a press conference, they talk botobata, and these are people always say they get PhD and all kinds of things. But it affects you when you get for spy, the rigor is not there in terms of the assessment that you do to ensure that you have mastery of the content to be able to get to where you need to. Because if you not get mastery of content, you get for just fake your way till the very end. And it creates a problem. You know, sex for grade and all of these things. That's not rigor. That is not rigor. You go pay your professor or your instructor, you get grade. That is not rigor. I mean, it could be quality, but if the rigor is not there to assess, you are wasting your time. You could have the best professor, the best material, the best environment, but the rigor, I not teach you, I not test you, but I pass you. It's not rigor. And then the relevance, like I said, the degree has to relate to our economy. What is our economy and what is our God-given resources? God-given rain 6 months a year, yet we don't have structural engineers to harvest rain. There should be a degree for that somewhere where our engineers should come up with innovative ways to harvest and process the God-given 6-month rainwater so that we not struggle with typhoid malaria. And that has to come from the education. We have all this technology. But if the degree now relates to water engineering and processing and harvesting rainwater, we would always, right now, Oma hold them better the fed water after 6 months of rain season. It's not relevant education.
Right. Thank you very much for where you go into that. And I've been don't promise the people and say I they bring I go get for bring an educator. We know the rigor of writing curriculum, and also when understand the structure of having degrees that are employment relevant, so degree where they create employment and also at the same time foster development within a country. I no go tell the family the Buddha and that person there yet, not to one person it go be, but if it gives you a clue based on the last answer, then I think say una get an idea of who that one of the panelists could be already. I want to take a call before we segue into we next set of topic. Caller, waiting at your name and Usai you the call from, please.
Hello, viewers. This na Umaru the call.
Hello, Mr. Umar.
Hello. First of all, thank the professor waiting at the studio because all what he talk, everything they in place, just the hit on the point. We problem as Salone. But the only thing say we no agree with them. Now that an office in English now problem. Because even though I know they sabi speak English, then they talk anyhow, even they know we engage them at the country. So I feel say we get fundamental problem. We not get anything to do with English. And it talks something again about the causes that we people go do in our country. For instance, I get a friend where Namium roommate be, and at the same time Namium teacher be at that time. A seat was it gets straight is then season result. A big transport, a commo kenema, a go free to a go defend the result. Straight is from there a teaching at the school, a left a go na free to a do mining engineering. If I tell you today, even though we do mining engineering in that country, today is a donable employer. Except it go help, it go up for collect the help, it go run classes and then it feed in family on. And then people in the world, this is why I tell you, so you not a problem with English. So that don't tell you say we problem in that country to English. Because first of all, let them try to engage first to one way they speak English. Even though they speak English, they don't engage them. So that now we on problem. We for try to engage first to one who will get. Oh, don't engage the who will get. They will maintain the who will not get it. Then, because just for an example, the Ethiopians, the Eritreans, they know they speak English, but that no makes America not go respect them. They are respected out there. But I'm glad what you say again that has to do with corruption, not the English. But we in Salone are not facing we problem in English. I feel so we problem is fundamental and due to lack of jobs or even the jobs are there, but the people will get a job not believe in Sierra Leoneans, except that they go call people from other countries where they pay them in dollars rather than for employ the young Sierra Leoneans. Look that man the language and now that petroleum engineering do. Now if we come out first class, 30 days they not able to get job. They work up and down they run classes. So now that then again, once again, like how you get to the kush business. The kush business, it will be very difficult for controlling our country. Why it will be very difficult? We get the borders away, we get poor borders. And one thing, when you know what in the can inside country, you go control them. But if you don't know what in the can inside country, how you able control them? You don't know who that they counter. This kush show they talk to not get any government, not get any control of the borders. Go na Pamalap. Now the main controller, but when you want use Pamalap, talk to one Okada man. They count you, they enter with you inside, you don't see police. In fact, one thing again, la boss na brim. One thing again, the policeman then na Pamalap, na they smuggle the illegal drugs with the Canada country. So what you need for do it, either you get a friend from the Guinean side or you get a friend from the Sierra Leonean side. All they need for do just sit down at them bike, then get them aboard, they know they get Okada. When see Okada man, anybody they take, they need a searcher. That's why they can't cross that border. or you gonna ST, let you see the jamba where they talk now police and any police also gonna ST, they meet them back then at the veranda. Jamba me not to force all that me, I don't see out me eye. So you see, so we get problem in that country, not for doing it with English with mentality. We for try change if we not change this kush business, or if the government no see say you get a responsibility for handle, make sure you watch your border. Sierra Leone is a free country. Now country where they go today, in fact, you not even get anything for the resident permit. Now Salone you go today, you buy clothes today, wear and today, you enter somebody room today, later you buy they beat the landlord self. Nobody they can ask you for a resident permit. Now Sierra Leone, they see people not sabi talk Creole, no foreign, no national language, no sabi talk. They get Sierra Leonean passport. So you see, we problem is bigger than how they think. But anyway, I will call again as the program they go. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, caller. Professor, I don't know if you want to respond to this caller or you get anything for add or comment on waiting this caller say before we move on.
Yes, I think it's important, and I appreciate that because the Japanese don't speak English, and in school the Chinese don't, yet they excel and do all of that stuff. What immediately refer to is a matrix. One of the matrix that shows the lack thereof and the quality of the educational system. I could go into math, into biology, into all of these other areas, but that one, a glaring matrix, we measure the quality of your education. So I should have probably put a disclaimer, and you're right, you're not going for be English, but if we teach English, beginning for pass English. That's my piece about it. If we teach math, beginning for pass math. And going back to your friend, we do this whole piece. To fix Sierra Leone, we have to move to meritocracy. Meritocracy would solve the issue with tribalism, nepotism, regionalism, and corruption. If we base everything on merit, watch the Singapore model, then it's easy to hold people accountable. But if I hire my paddy or my brother or my own tribesman, when he misbehave, I cannot hold them accountable because Nami puts them there. So the corruption continues. But when you put somebody of merit, then you have to hold them accountable. So going back to what you say, caller, you are right. We have a bigger problem. Corruption is big, and the arsenals, they all deal with the government and anti-corruption. And those are the things we advocate for, the independent-minded people, so that people we study would get the right jobs and Sierra Leoneans will benefit as a whole. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So now I want to segue into a few things then. So we go look at, in this segue, we go look at the economy, we go look at the elections process and results. We go also look at recent events we happen just about, I guess, a week now, today being Saturday. So we'll say a week. First question, before we look at a video, look at few pieces them and see them inside us proper. The results of the 2023, June 24, 2023, were the results what you expected? Or were they in the middle of what you expected, or was it a complete shock?
It was shocking to me without getting the full data. So let me make that clear. And for all disclaimer, I supported the APC and Samoa for several reasons, primarily that we need to move to the center of democracy and to help the youths the way they struggle, because like I said, I work with these youths in a salon across Sierra Leone for the last 3 years, and most of that time in there under the SLPP government and the BO government. And I see that the citizens of Sierra Leone were not benefiting. And so I took a leap of faith to say, if we need to affect change, I have to be part of the change. And since I cannot change what is happening in the BO government, because I've sent several videos out, I don't get access to the president or to his team, I decided one of the ways to impact change was to support another candidate and make the bold move to register my support for the APC moving forward. Without the data where the Constitution requires and where historically women don't do as a practice, we have to go by the word of mouth of the electoral commissioner. We say, we're going to enter, we say the president win based on 60% data and all of that stuff. So that came as a shock. And for me, I would accept the results and accept the outcome if I could be convinced. But nevertheless, being the peace-loving citizen that I am, I know running a government is not a sprint, now really. If I ask anybody what Tim Magai, Albert Magai, and Shaka Stevens do right now, people would struggle to even find one or two instances. So it's all short-term memory when it comes to the presidency. But it's all about the people. It's all about the people of Sierra Leone. Where I sit in the US in my comfort, I'm fine. But the youths I talk to every day, and the ones that are homeless and those who are dying are not fine. And so I just believe that we could do better. And so to say the results, yes, it was shocking to me, because once you're on one side, you want your side to win, but you don't want them to win at all cost. You want it to be fair, you want it to be democratic, you want it to be constitutional, you want it to be like Liberia. We all want to be like Liberia. We want it to be transparent, fair, and all of those things. But I have passed that point as a Sierra Leonean, because our greatest asset are the people of Sierra Leone. And we have to prioritize all that we do for the people of Sierra Leone. Within the diaspora, we could play all kinds of games and propaganda and all nonsense to benefit our egos and things like that. But in all reality, the people of Sierra Leone are the ones affected and traumatized every day with things that are happening. And so it's not about me, and it should not be about us. It should collectively be about the people. And if the BO government could step up and take care of our brothers and sisters, so be it. That's the job of the presidency, and that's the job of the government. And so what we ask of all our leaders is transparency and fairness, to give that petroleum engineer an opportunity who don't go study, to get a job to be a petroleum engineer, and to give the youths of Sierra Leone an opportunity, and to protect the youth from dying. And all of those are factors we may look to say, for me, it's not working. For others, it may be. But the results are what the electoral commissioner states they are, based on the power vested in the office. And I have no other proof. Therefore, unless I have other facts, I cannot sit here and say it is not what it is. The president is duly sworn in, and constitutionally, we accept it. And like we move past Milton Magai, Albert Magai, Shaka Stevens, Joseph Momo, Tijan Kaba, the government of Bill would be part of our history whenever that time comes, legitimately and constitutionally, and will reflect. And we should grow from this and use Liberia as the blueprint for all future.
Use Liberia as the blueprint for all future. And I don't, several times I don't say kudos to Liberia. I want to for segue the program into speaking more Creole than English at this point. I want for so that maybe I not go say, hey, Madam English, you don't English with today, then bring one, the English one come back. So it just the mix up, box up, we no more confused with all this big English. So we dey catch sidon, me as the presenter, they can make conscious effort now as we dey segue inside this a very important discussion for make I try for talk Creole as much as possible, and me the alejo wey sit down with me as well, himself go try for broke and down and mass am for una inside Creole as well, so that una go able for understand better one. So after the election, we notice say the opposition party then decide for sidon for about 3 months, I believe. Then sidon a bench, then sidon then say they no dey go, they no dey participate in any form of governance, they no go join the the declared winner, for run the country, for rule the country. As a matter of fact, them boycott parliament pata, mayor no swear in, councillor they no swear in, nothing like that. Say pass other people and can put them inside the igbale, put them inside one kotoku, make them all sit down and make them talk. But inside this sit down talk, inside this kotoku business, something them been comot inside. Me question first way I want to ask you before we go into how the country sit down right now. Given the outcome of the results and then waiting follow after, you think say the APC party been right for where they not agree for go na court and then decide for just sit down and look road? You think say na be the right decision that for the people? I'm not talking about the party here, for the people.
Yes, one of the things, if you believe in the rule of law, the Constitution, and democracy, however fragile they be, you follow all facets of the laws of your land. That is my personal view. Probably, like I said, we are not even at the fringe of the APC. Are they 10 miles away from the nucleus? So I don't know what the thinking was or is. And it could be built on distrust. But in that distrust, one of the things we get, and when you file a legal document, it becomes part of history. We begin them 50, 100, 200 years from now, whether they study in our university. For study that legal brief with APC from a file in 2023. Because in that legal brief, the forming document, which becomes part of the Sierra Leone archive, they are legitimate and legal concerns. Whether the court may sit or accept it would also be a blemish on the court, that we would look 200 years from now and say the Supreme Court did wrong not to listen to the people of Sierra Leone. And so hindsight is 2020, but I would say if me did not in position, we for me file all the district courts and file at the Supreme Court, so we have documentation per district, and we have documentation per the main courts in Sierra Leone. Let the court refuse to sit on it, it will become part of the archive. And then we will say we may file, even if they rule against you, it's nice to have it documented. That would be my piece. As it relates to the governance boycott, for me, I think it's the best that has happened to our democracy. When it started, I questioned it from my stance 1,000 foot away. And I said, it not make sense for the APC do this. If you are supporting democracy, go do democracy, take what they give you. But it leads back to this whole piece that we are documenting history, even if the outcome not be the same, with a document for our children's children to understand the preambles and all of them things there. And it don't bring to light now for force us to really think about democracy. Because for me, that's what is now that important. Waiting at democracy, now the will of the people. Okay, for choose the government way for work for them, which now is the most important thing. And I believe that this negotiation will take place. It will lay a good foundation for democracy in Sierra Leone in the future, whether the next electoral commissioner implement them or not, or they implement them the way it should be, we don't document them in a way where it then go study them. This preamble and go study them, the law school and go study them at Fabe College, and go study them at McKinney University. They go write books about them and all of that stuff. And that's why sometimes it's nice for students here. So I questioned it in the beginning, and I did not see it from my local view of it. But for the Sierra Leonean people, this is important, because when the tables turn, because we know at some point in time, either 28, 33, or 38 or 40, whatever it is, APC go kind of power. Not advocate for something way you not go do, which is the joy of all of this for me. That now APC, in the weakest moment of our democracy, now the strongest pillar for democracy. Sounds like an irony. But now that they don't decide for be the pillar, the foundation of democracy, from within the party itself, then get for practice democracy, not to be an hypocrite, and then get for implement democracy when they take power. And we, when they advocate for the people, we go Allah. Say, where this may be, you Allah say, they not mean do this, they not mean release the vote, they not mean do this, they not mean do this. Now that you are in the seat of power, you have to produce it 100%, not even at 99. So now that we don't document them, they cannot move away from it. It becomes the foundation of the APC party in the future, which for me, that's the beauty for all of this.
You get confident, say this communique where then sign so, because this communique, unless I'm wrong, for me, it's not binding, right? It's not a binding document. This communique where then sign so, how confident, waiting at the confidence where you get, say, then go sit down and then go try for implement them for the country in better one. And also, the reason we make us say the APC then sit down one, was it part of the promotion of democracy for the nation, or was it for selfish reason? Because inside the communique, one pan the thing then with them stress now a back pay of the salary of the 3 months or however long they sit down also. I want to make you answer this.
Well, that's good. The back pay issue, you will say it's a personal issue. And if they grant them that, that's in any negotiation. I always tell people, don't go into negotiation if you are not willing to make concession, even if you are right. And I bring the instance of RUF and the Salone people, that even in the worst of times, the negotiators, they forced for the Sanko on us as vice president in the mines, the ministry. And in any sober reality world, that should not happen. But because we want peace for the people who are traumatized, and for that we move past that and I don't become history, you have to make concessions. APC, if I'm with the APC leadership right now, APC don't win, all waiting and for win. I just did a video on that the other day. APC don't win, all waiting and for win for themselves and for the Salone people. Because democracy don't come to the forefront, where they don't emphasize them. And they don't go back into governments. And the bill government get for make concession. And that's why I'm saying, if you don't want to go into a dialogue and make concessions, then don't go in. So to make concession to the APC to say pay them the backlog pay, I mean, it's minuscule, well, in minute. We don't go back to this big English. In minute compare to the gain for the Sierra Leone people, because it quiets that peace quickly. And when you look at the money, when you look at in value and dollar compared to the gross product of Sierra Leone, their revenue and all of that stuff, it's symbolic. It's a symbolic pay will quiet that peace there. So if the government make that concession, kudos to them, because you have to make concession. The APC say you have to make concession to the government. We happen in a dialogue. And the APC don't win on the democracy, they don't win on the governance, they don't win on the back pay and some other things. If me, the advice the APC now, I think, is to settle in the middle and move forward. Because the tables are going to turn when the APC can have power 10, 15 years, 5 years from now, or whatever it is. And those same principles get for whole. And we don't set a precedent now, the parliament, and that precedent get for bite APC at some point in time. It could be 50 years from now. But that's the reason with the land history, so we're not going to forget. And so I believe that it's winning for APC. And if they now then get for make the full concession now on certain issues. And the issues that I believe that are going to be tough are issues of early election, issues of the legitimacy of the BO presidency, issue of the parliamentary majority. I don't believe any of those could move at this point in time, given the climate of the country. One of the things negotiators always do is to move towards peace. When the negotiators came in, there was peace. You cannot move it to conflict. If you are in conflict, you move it to peace. But if you inherit a peaceful negotiation, there's nothing you're going to do that would lead to conflict. So calling an early election is conflict. Not legitimizing the duly sworn president is conflict. Questioning parliament is conflict. What APC therefore do, I'm not speaking for the APC, is just to document certain things with reservations. That we accept certain things with reservations and sign those preambles and principles and set yourself for the future and come out victorious. If they walked out of this with a stalemate, it's not going to be in their favor because they already don't accept whether if the back pay, if they don't give them back pay, then they plus other things. I don't know. I mean, I'm not following that detail. But you cannot accept some and then have a stalemate in the end on those negotiations. They have to make concessions. And those are tough concessions and therefore make on leadership. But at this point in time in the state of the country, they just have to just say, fall whitey white. That's so it don't be. Let we move on and let work with Bill. And I caution them, the APC. You get for work with President Bio because the presidency in a relay, not a sprint. And not the end when President Bio in time done. If you don't work with the government for build the government, if Bio there at 2, your handicap I go to 0. When you inherit the presidency, you're at 0. By the time you get to 2, you are in the problems. Your goal as an opposition is to lay foundation to build the country. It's for the people. So when you take over in good stance. This may not be the populist view. I guess that it's weighing for me in some areas right now. But if I am the APC, I would work strongly with the APC government and international organizations to edge our bet to say democracy is democracy. For whitey white, let's go into 2028, build upon now to 2028. So when you inherit 20, you're on the trajectory for positive change. But if you allow everything to sink where they happen right now in Salone, the BO government is going to be better than any government that comes in 2028 because you're going to inherit the worst of. So that's my take, and speech is free.
Yeah, speech is free, and then when you so the waiting you say now you feel you say that APC don't win in all areas according to you, and in kind of setting the pace for democracy and moving forward and all of that. And also you caution them into this call for an early election and what that would mean, and the need for work collaboratively with the present government and all of that. And you say quite a number of things them way. You say fall whitey white. I always say the game is not over. I always say if I know Salone, the Salone I know. Especially with the events that just took place. Um, in fact, we not begin sit down proper it. As a matter of fact, now will they decide how their shall be for look. We not even pick the design itself. But I will go to the color, and then we will look at the events that took place recently and get into some discussion on how it tied in with the economic environment, the political climate, waiting the government's current ruling regime need for do, and all of that. People don't worry. The focus here today not to for talk about waiting happen on Sunday, but we cannot do the show and talk about all of these election processes and all of that without bringing in waiting happen on Sunday. It might have relevance, it may not have relevance. They may be related, they may not be related. But in all of these, you can find linkages somewhere. Make I take the calls and then we go come to this. Caller waiting on your name and who you the call from. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Yes, caller, go ahead. Waiting on your name and who you the call from, please.
Oh, yeah. Miss Matilda, good evening and good evening, Professor Bull. This is Abdullah call from New Jersey.
Hello, Abdullah. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. So,
So we
yes,
they get
okay.
some
Sorry.
difficulty hearing you. Maybe you want to get close to your device. Get close to the phone. We they get some trouble for hearing you.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
All right. Thank you again. And good evening to you and or good day to you and Bull. So, it's Abdullah call from New Jersey. Not to think everyone talk on. Unfortunately, I know missed the start. I get disrupted after the introduction of Professor Bo, after his introduction of himself. So the first thing I see will be to get a conversation on the English. Now, Sierra Leone, one caller even called say the English not a problem. I think Professor Bull thinks say maybe not the way we put them. As far as me concerned, even make comparison to other countries, the Chinese, the Europe, the Ethiopians, where they do Amharic, and the Eritreans. That is all true. Then get them languages than they. But I believe say this is not a fundamental problem we will be done they look in the wrong way. I remember when I be in high school, we get friends where you where they make effort for speak English. I mean, then they make you a laughing stock. Then they tell you say, boy, you like Boku book. Now you sabi speak English. They give you all of those derogatory statements where will make you feel very bad about yourself. And if you don't get the courage, you're not able to go ahead. But this is not the fact. All in continent they will compare yourself with the Chinese, the Japanese, then get a new language, we know to English from origin. Sierra Leone, we get Creole. I wish not Creole we don't start with, but not only unfortunately not English, for God's sake. So if we say we cry this English down, cry and down, what you get, which language you get will get for do? That is just the truth. So we either get something for put seriousness and understand because there is no alternative, or we just criticize them, we not benefit at all. So the truth is, we can't create a system where in the first place for law we even study the English. And the one day where they talk say, oh, your capability not just tie around English. Yes, it's true, but here's the situation. A lot of people in Sierra Leone with master's degree. I'm telling you, it's not an exaggeration. You get picking them. Forget about the private school. I talk of government public schools. You get picking in a high school or even middle school where they speak better English. You know why? Because they get parents them, we show them how important it is for let you learn this thing from where them be picking. So if you get people with a master's degree in a country where the official language not English, they cannot speak English, let we not look and say, oh, English not important. No, it is important. Because after English, not Sierra Leone, now waiting else. What do they write with projects them on? What do they make with international communications them on? What would they so this not something we as a nation we just get for take serious. In fact, Professor Bull, as far as me concerned, they use more of Creole. It's not something we naturally impossible for make you don't learn book. You make effort to study small English, you talk Creole. Even the Mende people where they talk you Mende, they poor English day. The educated Limba man, we talk Limba, they draw 1 2 English day. The educated man, it happened. That tells you you made an effort and you succeeded in learning something we're very important in the country. So we'll not get away for escape them. So people always say, oh, not to English. No, not English. It is serious. That's the first thing I want to say. Push. Oh, my time is up. Oh, I'll call back.
Yeah,
Sorry.
your time done. So I
I'll
will
call
go to
back.
the next
Sorry.
caller. Okay, caller, what's your name and who's you they call from?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please. What's your name and who's you they call from?
Actually, in Abdullah back, I get 2 lines who have been called on.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Abdullah,
Yeah.
monopolizing line. I see.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I get 2 lines we are called on because I see how I know the important guests will get today in this program. So I go to the second point when I the kush. The kush where they talk about in Sierra Leone, when I watch the thread, I see Lance and Atako, which whom I believe some of us here know, make a very important statement on the kush thing that the police are the problem because they know the pushers, they know the locations, they know the warlords even. But the bribery, now the problem. I think I can't agree with him more. I mean, this is a concern we some of we don't raise for the last 5 years. There is no way Kush will thrive in Sierra Leone if the authorities then we concern them and not did it. We don't hear allegations upon allegations about people that were involved in government, in higher authorities. But then people they are not ever give the public proof they are not involved as others have alleged. But at the same time, we know they see a serious effort for stop this kush in as much even though it kill with people them, we picking them, we brothers them, we sisters them on a daily basis. This is very serious to the point that as a nation, if we're serious, we have to call it for what it is, tell the security and the people in the authorities that we concern say, if this kush not the common as Sierra Leone, not they responsible. Finally, when I see one day, then they run after one lady, then they beat her and they say they kitchen they sell kush. Come on, for God's sake. Is that the way? I see somebody, I don't know if not the internal affairs minister, somebody in authority, I'm not sure. Then a public, get somebody where they talk to the youth them, say when I left for take this youth, this kush, it make you get so pushed, you die before your time. That tells you we are not serious as a nation for solve this thing. And indeed the allegations the way they go say people are waiting a higher office, they handed in a truth. Or you're not far from the truth. Say indeed people are within a higher office and did it 5 years we cannot take care of this kush. How many borders we get in Sierra Leone? How many countries we share borders with? Where are these officers? Where is the security? As far as me concerned, all the security with Sierra Leone they train now for the politicians. You have a deputy minister where they get 2 3 officers armed. They be that you can never hear that they attack a political figure. But things the way they can't through with borders, we're not able to stop them. I'm telling you, it wholly lies in the hands of the authorities, not Sierra Leone. There is no other way for Putam. Thank you very much. And thank you, Professor Bull. I'll see you recently now, Virginia.
Thank you very much. I'll go to the next caller and then I will hold the calls them so that we get we segue into the another important part of the program. Caller, waiting at your name and who's you they call from?
Hello,
Yes, please go ahead.
Mrs. Cole. Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
please go
thank
ahead.
you. Good evening. This is Rebecca Kemoy, the talk from the UK. Good evening, Dr. Boo.
Good evening.
Please don't wait to hear from your device. Just keep talking,
So,
and we
what
can.
thing I want to say is, yes, Ibrahim talk about the importance of English. Me self agree say.
Oh boy.
Okay, I don't do one. Okay, thank you very much. I've got it now. Thank you, everyone. So yes, English is important because the contract and for the government and the sign are English. So we all know so important. We know therefore know I'm very, very well, but important. Then again, I will not forget how math important for computing. So we need for know maths as well. For that we said they on top of this competing, this AI, this artificial intelligence and everything in the country. But I'll go make it short. The kush issue. What me go like for seeing a cross-party policies where APC they come with their own sense, SFP they come with their own sense, then make policies, then we'll go stop this kush because we all know side they come out. So basically that's what we get for say. Thank you everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. So Sunday, last week Sunday, as a matter of fact, we now been the 24th of November at around 2 a.m. Salone 10, katakata happened. When the katakata begin, nobody be know waiting they go on. And then about 5 hours later, we see a communique or something like a press release from the Minister of Communication. Force is say there is a security, attempted security breach. Now the armory or the side they keep the gun them. Oh, I've been the 26th. Sorry, I think I fast forward my calendar into December. Sorry, excuse me, and I've been Sunday, November 26th. My producer don't correct me. Saying I've been Sunday, November 26th. Okay. And then later they say Naku. But then we notice say strategic places them where could they happen in my country? There are strategic places society. The people them way are they responsible for the coup and they go hold them plane, they go seize them, place them they force, make sure say they secure them, place them they force. But none of them place them they been touched. So people then begin ask themselves question, waiting really they go on that salon, waiting really happen that Sunday. To be honest with you, how me sit on so right now? I am still asking myself what really happened. But before we dip further, I want we take a quick minute for do some quick analysis of some things then we come out now following the coup. Following the coup, I said following the coup, if there was a coup or alleged coup, or following a breach of security, if it was a breach of security, or following a breach of security or attempted entry into the weaponry, the storage facility, it asked for say really waiting happen. But I want we listen to waiting Mr. Bio Imminget for say about waiting at the time, him feel say be happy. Make we listen.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, in the early hours of this morning, there was a breach of security at the military barracks at Wilberforce in Freetown. Some individuals attacked the military armory and other locations in Freetown, including Pademba Road Correctional Center. In the event, prisoners escaped. The attackers have been repelled by a combined team of gallant security forces, and calm has been restored. Most of the leaders have been arrested. Security operations and investigations are ongoing. We will ensure that those responsible are held accountable through due process. I acknowledge the bravery and dedication of our armed forces, police, and all those who played a role in defeating this attempt to undermine the peace and stability we have worked so hard to achieve. Their commitment to the defense of our democracy deserves our deepest gratitude. I thank all citizens for complying with the security measures and advise everyone to remain vigilant and to cooperate with the security forces. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, in times like this, we are reminded of the importance of national unity. Let us not succumb to fear or division. Let us come together as one people, one nation. Our strength lies in our unity, and it is through solidarity that we can overcome challenges that come our way. I call on all political leaders, traditional leaders, civil society, and citizens across Sierra Leone to continue working to preserve the peace of our nation. As your Commander-in-Chief, I want to assure everybody who is resident in Sierra Leone that we have overcome this challenge, and together we will continue on the path of progress and development. May God bless Sierra Leone and its resilient people. Long live the Republic of Sierra Leone.
Okay. So, me people them, Mr. Bio in speech, in, in response to wetin happen, he clearly say breach of security and also the Pademba Road prison, break into Pademba Road prison. So prison break. So two things nice say happen. He say breach of security, now Wilberforce, right? Barracks, and then prison break at Pademba Road prison. I want make we listen to wetin the Army Command General in say. when he was being interviewed. Waiting in say.
Be the mission, and we say they come up from. Because where they arrest you, they hand you over to the military police and the forces intelligence unit, they get the procedures, and I'm sure later, when stability is here, not the thing, right now, for law, we get the stability of the state, for law, because the member must ask them, then the member tell me waiting at the intention, but it cannot clearly say. Then people that, because people they talk now, coup. I want to make people understand it. This is not a coup. This is not a coup. This is an attack with the people are wrong. Because, coup and they can't see are different. No coup, no say soldiers and they grab they can't against the people who are against the state. But this one, people are going to attack because maybe they got a motive. And yes, that person say they succeed. Yes, partly they succeed. But the overall intent, they never achieve them. The objective, because they succeed for go get some ammunition, we will get more weapons, we get people that wait for assistance for doing things for.
So according to this Army General, because una can quick for say Matilda say. No, this is not about Matilda say. The current Agbagba, one waiting at the egg, waiting at the biggest chair in the land, where in talk is say breach of security and prison break. Where the Army General in talk is say this not a coup. People in the talk say this na coup, this na coup, this na coup. No, this not a coup. He say this na an attempted attack. People, please hear the difference. Not a coup, an attempted attack. One is a breach of security and prison break. The other one is a not a coup, na an attempted attack, then get away with some, weaponry. But when we hold them and go tell we the motive, make we hear waiting the person were responsible for all the nation in arm and tell the nation waiting they happen step by step, every step of the way. And not only all the nation in arm, but also responsible for communicate, for tell the international world waiting we feel say happen or waiting we think say be happen. This now waiting aiming get for see.
6 incidents na be a failed attempted coup. Na be a failed attempted coup. They don't determine say the threshold where they look at all the details where they get now as the investigation they continue. That in fact the intention of the people here now be for illegally subvert and overthrow the democratically elected government of this country. We can also report say, of course, as I don't say, they fail, and that plenty of the leaders then currently either they in police custody or then they on the run, and we try for continue for capture them and bring them to the full force of the laws of Salone.
So the Communication and Civic Education Minister, Chernoba, in say the incident that happened on November 26 was a failed attempted coup to illegally subvert and overthrow the democratically elected government of Sierra Leone. He said when they don't do all the assessments, then put together all things. Now, in the qualify, waiting happen, say, now a failed attempted coup for subvert an illegal, elected president. So, The funny thing is that when I go back and look at the sequencing of when, at least you can say, okay, Mr. Bioin said this hour, now so in say, few hours later, the communication minister in say this, and then the one way they deal with, the military, and we get the military language and lingo, and way obviously now then go inform the communication minister as to what this actually means or is in their ladder of what possibly they can put or classify as school in say this not a cool, this na attempted attack. Dr. Bull, what do you make of all this? From this, can you really piece together or say something about what happened in Sierra Leone? Was this was this a political, like the minister is saying? Was this, an attempt by others to subvert a legitimate government? Or was this a bunch of people, frustrated by a system, economic condition, that decided to, take actions into their own hand? Because Usaimi Sidom, right now, I can't really say what happened.
Well, thank you. First of all, let me just state it. The worst democracy is better than any illegitimate, undemocratic government. So 100% I denounce any attempt with it destabilize and traumatize the people of Sierra Leone. And I think all Sierra Leoneans should speak out on that when they breach the armory. Anybody who breach the armory, not breach them for go sing Christmas carol. You did breach the armory to get weapons, and it's illegal for you to possess weapons without license, and for go breach the military armory, which we know that for a fact from all sources that they breach that. I think all Sierra Leoneans for denounce that because it creates instability. It creates instability. So because of that breach, we know there was an ill motive behind the breach. Then we'll get for tell within that breach. But I think we have a bigger problem in all of this. The way Mikey said the fox then at the chicken coop, they eat the chicken, pull the fox first and ask, how did the fox get in? The man with the head of the military, and this is where meritocracy comes in. The man with the head of the armory. Now in the tell you said they breach the armory and he still get job. I mean, it's not even funny. It should be on administrative leave without pay right now under house arrest. And I'm serious. You are the head of the military and the Minister of Defense and internal ministers. You see, this is where you begin to question how you govern. If me give you me property for keep and I say I want it, thief man can thief am. Not tell me say thief man come, now you responsible. You are the head of the military, should not sit there and say, oh yes, there was a breach, they took some ammunition. You are responsible, my brother. But it goes back to the bigger problem. When you appoint people not based on their skill set, you cannot hold them accountable. Because any reasonable world right now, that head of the military, the chief of staff, everybody go on administrative leave. But he is sitting there and goes back to the use of English. We just talk about the use of English. In the president's speech, it is glaring that whosoever wrote that speech truly do not understand the Queen's language. Because it's clear that the problem was English in that speech. And I give the president the benefit of the doubt because imagine if it were you, your state of mind, thinking people break in, get illegal weapons, and you are the target. So I give him the benefit of the doubt, and any reasonable person will be scared under that moment. But then people when they write this speech, this English speech where they write, now it cause the problem, we don't begin create the doubt. And we have to be careful. The president now we embodiment of the constitution. Now the symbol of Sierra Leone. This breach, as we call it, started 2:00 in the morning. When Uster we hear from with president and Siam?
The next day.
At what time? 8 p.m.
In the evening.
In the evening. And he is our president.
Yeah.
When things like this happen, the president, they wait for official address. That Twitter doesn't count because anybody can write a Twitter account.
Yeah.
We want to see you as we president, the embodiment of the green, white, and blue, alive and well upon daybreak. At 6:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
At 7:00, 8:00, 9:00, by midday, there should be a confirmation that our president is alive. You don't leave it to speculation. And I'm serious about this thing. And it goes back to how we run with government. That we president disappear for 20 hours. There was a breach. We don't know if they're alive or well. The reason why they call a breach, we don't know if they're cool, if they're alive or well. It puts the nation at edge. So to answer your question, we have to wait for the evidence. And I want to give the president credit where credit is due. He is moving to the center at a time when Sierra Leoneans need a level-headed president. And I listened to his speech we give today, and where credit is due, there could be no better speech for the Sierra Leoneans at this time. And most people were speculating that the tough talk President Bill would be the tough talk President Bill tonight. And for once, I listened to the speech and I copied it, and I'm going to read a section to you all. I may not sound like him, but I'm going to read a section that will talk and agree for we understand. Because this is where we want to be in Sierra Leone in democracy. And I quote him, and he says, as a nation deeply rooted in the rule of law, let me assure you that no matter the provocation, our response to the event of November 26 will be measured and determined along only one parameter, the rule of law. Nothing more and nothing less. The attempted coup will therefore be dealt with by my government purely as a law and order issue and not, let me repeat that section, and not a political, tribal, or religious matter. Therefore, let all be rest assured that we would follow the evidence wherever it leads us, and all those found culpable, no matter their status, shall be held fully to account for their actions within the confines of the laws, while at the same time also recognizing the wider demands of justice and freedom. Whosoever wrote this for the president, this is what the nation needed at this time. If you look at the keywords, it's an assurance, it's not a state of emergency, it's not heavy-handed, it's democracy. And this is why I say APC, the win on democracy. Because everything about these excerpts, he mentioned the rule of law 3 times in this speech and talks about justice and freedom. And it is not political, tribal, or religious. He spoke as the president of Sierra Leone to Northerners, Southerners, Easterners, and Westerners. And to say, go about your business, let the law handle it. Now, do we trust the legal system? We should at this time begin to think about the rule of law, and we want the president to be transparent. I know he was in shock, so he will call him breach, but if he is truly sincere about the rule of law, If me give you ammunition for keep, then broke go inside there. Whether you shoot the person or you catch them, as long as they take something inside there, we have an ineffective system. This is where electricity comes important. How the military go they will not get electricity and CCTV. You know, we are talking about all these gaps in our system. I mean, the MCC talk about Sierra Leone's electric grid. 79%, 71% of the entire Sierra Leone geographical area not get access to any form of electoral grid. 71% of Wano Salone not get access. So you can imagine the Wilberforce barracks. First of all, a barracks don't turn village. You know, this is what the president get for clean up the Wilberforce barracks. If you are not military, you not get for day. Family self not get for day na Wilberforce barracks. Wilberforce barracks are village. We not get CCTV. I mean, a padlocks on that they use for the armory to just take screwdriver, pull up. Because if you have 6 locks like Pademba Road, you cannot just go into the armory. So there are fundamental issues we get for deal with because it jeopardizes the safety of Sierra Leoneans. Let's forget about the government. If they may go rampant, they shoot RPG and gun everybody that's seen at Salone. You could imagine the massacre that could have happened with that simple breach of the armory. So we'll not take this lightly. It's not on party line. It's not APC. It's not SFPP. And I just want to appeal to all those self-bloggers, the way they online. We call SF APC and SFPP, where they pass and propaganda about people, the name, about coup and all of that stuff. These are lives of people. I mean, APC get for step up and tell those bloggers. SLPP, the president get for tell people, get out of this and leave it to the law. Because now they go call people name way they not sabi. Somebody send video, they say, hey, Nami they said, oh, Nami Ali the talk, hey, una not hold back, oh, una continue this fair. Hey, so and so person don't tell me, say, let we continue the fair law, not give up. We don't allow social media to undermine the fabric of our system. And that is how we are right now. And I'm glad the president took a centrist view, because if we continue at this pace, we're going to end up in a civil war between the North and the South, APC and SLPP. And we don't want that, because the children, the women, the youths will suffer. If politicians are unfit, let's put them in one ring. Let's get all boxing gloves, let them go fight. But the lives of people with struggle for make ends meet in Sierra Leone should not be. I mean, they don't traumatize picking them. I talked to somebody yesterday where they tell me, say, rain come, tender the crack, the picking all begin run the hell inside the house. Then things are bomb down for them because tender the crack. They are traumatized. These children are traumatized. And we have for soften things. So I turn it over to you, ma'am. So as it relates to this, I think we all get for stay on the side that it is an attempted coup. Let the evidence come out. Let we all denounce any form to overthrow elected government. Half democracy is better than none.
Half democracy is better than none. You talk about picking them with traumatized. The entire nation of Sierra Leone, from Peking to Granny to Grandpa, Uncle, Sister, we are all traumatized. Okay, we are a traumatized nation. We not heal from the past, and we carry on that trauma in the present, and it's going to be carried on to the future. I don't know if in the next generation then go able for catch them and then do something so that it not transition on to other generation to follow. But when it comes to Mr. Bio's speech, I mean, I deliberately put all them 3 different viewpoints there so as to waiting happen. For me, just to show that there isn't a clear line of communication within the system and someone is not in control. The communications unit, because people can say, I'm so hard on the government, I'm so hard on the government, I'm so critical about the government. No, I'm not hard about the government or I'm not critical. For me, when something needs to be done right, it needs to be done right. Especially when it gets professional implication. Okay? You as the minister, you go put out a press communique at odd times in the day when, as a matter of fact, and then the president major, stations them. And I mean, I go personally when that's happened. After a few hours, where I don't look, I not see any form of communication. There was a media blackout, a complete media blackout in Sierra Leone. I go on me social media platforms them, and I make this statement. I'm like, I hope people realize why journalistic neutrality is important within a democracy or within a society. Because if we can get journalistic neutrality and independence, I don't see why a station like SLBS for be silent at this point. I don't see why a station like AYB for be silent at this point. I don't see why the communication minister for the reach out to people from Twitter and the communications page. We are within a system now, a space now, an atmosphere where technology is in the abundance. Nothing not being prevented for make it take in phone go on live and connect and upload that live video feed to the Ministry of Communication to say this is what has happened right at 2 a.m. in the morning. Like where Umar Fofana, I think at the income Nado, either 3 or 5 a.m. in the morning doing his journalistic reporting, and then later was told, for his security, he should go back home. I not see that, like, the thing, it was so important, and the need for show leadership and strength right at that moment and guidance, but that was lacking. Instead, it was citizens like us, where I can call, the middle people like us, that was out there kind of, piecing together certain information and giving to people, and people in the kind of platform for look for information to them, because they're like, what, right now we don't know what's going on in our country. The president has a phone. Going on Twitter odd hours later to say, oh, there has been, no, that wasn't the way to go. People like you feel to say, you are dealing with a nation that is over 50% illiterate. You they deal with a nation where not get access to television, where more than half of they not get access to election, they not get access to them kind of platforms, then they're now radio 9 independent. We get systems them. We make them so easy. Why make the communication minister not take in phone? Why make the chief minister not take in phone? They always know for use Twitter and go on their phone them for post all sorts of rubbish. We're very, very irrelative and irrelevant to the society. But when it mattered the most, they all cower, they all disappear, they were all in silence. What prevented the president to take his own phone or he aid them? Because not in one grain Sidona also get aid them. Or connect to a WebEx system or a Google Meet system or a Zoom system and do a quick live stream to say, I am alive, I am here, this is where I am, this is, this is what we are walking through. And every hour on the hour, there should have been an update to the nation. That is how you guide communication. That is how you stay on top of the issue. But you see, if I talk now and I go say, hey, look, I don't come again. Always they criticize. At some point, I completely blank out of the issue, because I'm like, you know what? The people that should show strength, leadership at this point, for all the people there, and say, do not worry, everything is in control. They drop the ball. When they go post big English, big grammar, press release, where una know for say 60% of our population cannot touch. Over 60%, as a matter of fact, of our population cannot access, cannot touch. Then put them boldly before their face, so they're not going to know waiting right there. You they go right na Twitter, where for say over 50% of the population In addition to over 60% of the population, not they read, not get access to them devices then they. Strategic communication is not only about you going to school and being able to click on this little device and be able to do tuk 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 and call yourself a minister of communication, or call yourself a chief minister, or call yourself a president, or call yourself, a chief of staff. There is a lot more to communication than meets the eye. And the sooner I begin listening to some of we and waiting we get for say, for infuse into the system, for make the system better, the better it will be for the system. I want to take these few calls and then we move on into as we wrap up the show. Caller, what you get for say, waiting are your name and also you call from.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please. Please lower your device and lower your device completely. We can hear it and then speak on the phone without listening to the device.
Right. Okay. Yes. I name Joshua. I call from Australia.
Yes, please go ahead, Joshua.
You hear me? Okay. Yeah. Look. I really just want to go back to Dr. Bull in comment. We say half democracy is better than none. If I get it right, am I right? Because
Yes. That's what I said. Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Look, me not there for any party, I'm not there for APC or SPP, but as a Sierra Leonean, somebody will love the country. I really, me pray, me desire that fellow Sierra Leoneans will really take this, see this point, realize fetch coup or whatever then one call which happened last weekend. It go just take we go back. And I also want reference within Dr. Bull say also, saying, that we need to condemn this. Everybody we love democracy, we love, we really love progress for come out from both sides of the party, SPP, APC, all for come and condemn this stronger terms that we don't need this right now, this country. I also want to really commend you, my sister Matilda, that as you bring out, you try to really engage Sierra Leoneans in a very positive way. I clearly I'm not saying it takes side. You just want to bring out the truth. You want make people engage and intellectually as well, and help we for understand for know what they go on the ground, because most of we don't really know what they go on at the ground. Thank God for platforms like this. But I go back to what Dr. Bo said. Half democracy is better than none. Not to turn this for beginning, they really they try, work on tribal side or whatever political affiliation. And that time is for really selling for coming and make and think about what make we a nation. When we go overseas, then they go say, then they ask you, whose tribe you come, whose tribe you be, what part of which tribe you are. They say, what nationality are you? And I bet you most of we go say Sierra Leonean. And so now that's for all on so that now unite we. So we forgo and seek and fight for waiting unite we waiting make we one. Whether APC in our power, SPP in our power, we for support democracy and support the president. Again, like I say, I'm not APC, I'm not SPP. But as a concerned civilian, I think we need to really, really go for waiting unite we, and that's now that waiting make we one being Sierra Leoneans, and really push for that. Of course, all we leaders them accountable in the process, absolutely. But again, I don't take this quote, and I think why I go use also even with me picking and when I go Salone. Half democracy is better than none, and make we really. I hope Sierra Leone listen to this, and make we support any government. now currently more support that we will really bring Salone together and go before. Sorry, I get a lot for Siba. And you see there are callers where they wait for talk as well. But I commend you, my sister Matilda, and also Dr. Bull. Thank you. But as Salonians, please make we support the government of the day and push for waiting make we won Sierra Leone. We are Sierra Leoneans. God bless you.
Thank you very much, caller. I will go to the next caller. Caller, waiting on your name and also you the call from, please.
Hello, viewers. This is Omaro the call again.
Okay, go ahead, please.
First of all, I'm glad you want to ask that question. See why people still hold them job when that happened. Okay, now Matilda, let me just make one thing clear. From lodge, the presidential lodge to who said the attack. Now 8 minutes where you waka. In fact, a shot down where you the commodity for gonna country lodge. If far pass where you the common lodge for Kana First Barracks. Okay, why somebody plan coup? You know, go attack the president there instead you go to the armory. That's now one question. Then two again, what's that the connection for overthrow and for release prisoners? Okay. Then now we come again to the president's speech. You see, una jump two important speech. One was not national speech, but now when it addressed the delegate from ECOWAS, in dribble accused the APC. Even the APC end up for full state press release for the boycott it talk. And that statement where it been say, it forgets it the same people where it talk to now the same people and be advised and say, let impose Damaru constitution on the Sierra Leoneans, let it wait, let impose constitution where it in this part of the where it in favor of government. In deliberate, then the communication again by process and una miss one. When they make the joint communication between the police and the soldiers, then talk am clear say they no go be safe for now na coup until we say the investigation lead them. But we glad in ways some people where they advise the president really advise and say that mood, that campaign mood, that political mood activate, not that mood we want for now. And national unity. I think see that whitewash make this second press release a type of at least make them correct to email because it no say the people there around that don't know say that accuse will be accused the APC before the ECOWAS. If not that it continue with, then this thing that will turn out to political issue. And this one not a political issue. And this man where they now still don't talk something where it go down history. Half democracy is better than anything. And we foresee say we keep this man, this in particular statement. Now this makes sometimes kinde where full man talk or to where man will get sense talk. In fact, thank God we don't get educator. At least we don't get educator this time that is the way don't can. At least we don't get some land from me. Say half democracy is better than any kind of government. And we thank you for the type of knowledge we can impact into we today. Just low to the talk. This one way to happen. Let them pull up on political business. Let them concentrate on national unity and let the investigation get them go. Who say if for care them, but let not put politics business. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. I just want to state something, Ayaso. Remember that this discussion and interview with Dr. Bull not really center on what happened last Sunday. For do a thorough analysis on all of the events that happened last Sunday and everything else, I need a full show for do that. And I can let for be really fair with myself and really fair with the audience where I do them kind of thing there. So, to do that, it means I have to look at from the inception of from 2 o'clock in the morning. I get for look at the different tweets them wey comot from especially the president and the communications unit. I get for look at them press release them, the way where they word them press release them, where they come back when they make corrections to them press release them, the words that were in there that were kind of like accusatory immediately, the errors then, the mistake then where they make. I get to look at the president in first set of speech, compare and to in second set of speech where he make indeed when the ECOWAS come, will lead the APC for, kind of, rebuff, in statements then. And I'm going to categorically say this because I have 100% certainty that is what led today's speech to be carved the way it was carved today. Because then quickly realize, say, I'm sure people have called them immediately to say, listen, you are walking down the wrong path here. You are definitely trying to open a Pandora's box that, listen, nobody no get them for can send people for can happen or if kata kata happen. So be measured, show strength, and choose your words carefully. And stop this una pull here, tug of war, whatever. Trust me, I am a communications expert. I know what I am talking about. The speech today, I'm not listening to, but just from waiting Dr. Bull don't talk Nayaso, just from that quotation alone, I can tell the influence that led to those lines or sentences. So not to for say we forget about all of that, but like I say, for do that go mean dedicating a full show for do a thorough analysis. I will do injustice to the administration, the opposition, the people of Sierra Leone, the show, and myself if I lump all of that inside the show. Dr. Bull, I don't know if you get anything for say, but for me, I want to ask you this question, even as say you they add your comments to waiting the caller then say. You say half democracy is better than none, and I completely agree with you. Half democracy is better than none. As we stand right now, let us all agree that, okay, there was an alleged, I'm going to say an alleged, because we still don't know the facts of things yet. Let's say, there was an alleged, it's alleged that there was an attempted coup in Sierra Leone. Given the economic climate of the country, knowing what we know, right now they don't put taxes and less where we know for say than they now a stable. In January, they promise for add more taxes. Toll-free gate where now one of the passages or the toll route where now one of the passages accessible, for bring goods come into the country. Then self don't say they want to add tax to the toll gate. Ferry, this all man they add their own tax. We get a parliamentary system where go and accept the review of the financial tax system in one sitting, one day. They pass through every legislature, sign them and say yes, without consultation, without taking the economic hardship and environment into consideration, without basically, I feel like we are running, we are enforcing an environment of punitive economy, an economy of punitive, punishment to the people. What do you feel say if we keep this trend, knowing what we now assume is or presume may have been, what do you think will happen?
If I give advice, President Bio, in economy, my worst enemy. this economic crisis where they face is going to get even tougher. Sierra Leone are the country where people let they take a pay cut through taxes. And we don't pay people enough. And yet we tax them. You know, President Biafra, for look at how the average Sierra Leonean family they survive. Mama and Papa they make hand to meet. Sunday na dry rice you go eat. Sunday na palmine rice you go eat. But the picking them, they still like their mama and papa. They go do anything for their mama and papa. No say their mama and papa no get money. Sunday go then bread number then go eat. Sunday na tea then go drink. When they get money they eat lily, cassava leaf and rice. But yet the picking them still like their mama and papa. Sierra Leoneans are the children of the government. If you want the people and for stay with you in difficult times, show that you love them. Show that you care for them and you are sensitive to their needs. When you give people a pay cut every month by raising taxes, you are telling them that you don't care much about them. And it's going to get tougher. We are in for a crisis in 2024 that President Biafra get nobody for blame but himself. And it is the removal of our currency, old and new to new. That's our biggest threat. I'm not an economist, but I could understand, first of all, our banking system is failed and several banks would collapse in 2024. Our economy is not based on the banking structure because the market too much way to go buy fish. Now we fisherman come, now you get for pay for the fish, you not get for go bank and money and get and check. So the money always they bypass the bank system. Very few people they do banking system. If electricity not in at 79% of the country, no say bank not in at 79% of that area. Therefore, those areas is cash only business. Now, when you're replacing a currency with the little economics I study, if you get 10,000 of the old currency and you're replacing it, if you replace it with 10,000 of the new currency, the old currency come out. Okay?
Yeah.
But if you replace the old currency with new currency, then you float your economy with paper currency, you've automatically devalued your currency and you have worthless currency floating around. So now you have 20 of those currency. Instead of you have 10,000, you have 20,000 of currency when not get value. And that 20,000 then in circulation where people are use, and even with the 20,000 given the analogy, the bank that they tell you say go can tomorrow because we not get enough currency for let you withdraw your money within at the bank. Now imagine if you withdraw 10,000 out of this circulation, what happens to your bank? Now that you have an overflow of currency, the banks cannot compete with those who keep their money. Now, if you remove that 10,000 of the old currency, send a new currency, it's going to be the collapse of the economy because everybody is going to hoard out the new currency because you're going to bank 2 weeks, you don't get money. And when people know that, everybody is going to bypass the banks. Your economy is going to collapse. That is the biggest threat to Sierra Leone right now, outside of what is happening this week. And once you continue to levy taxes, you are devaluing, you do a pay cut. You tell the workers to say, I mean, they pay you 500,000, but next month, now 450,000 they pay you. Because I know I'm going to take 50,000 in taxes through data, electricity, transportation, petrol, and whatever it is. We are going in the wrong direction in this. And the economists, the way they advise them, I don't know where they're coming from, but we have to, this is why we have to do a call to unity. Because like I tell you, we all don't grow up now also we're angry, but we still like mama and papa. But because they show we say they love we. President Bio and your government, they for sure say you love the Salone people. Because the economic constraints we're going to face in 2024, you cannot blame anybody for it. The forces of global are against you. The forces of your economy are against you. And this attempted coup don't drive investors. You know, the election may not drive investors that they wait say, well, 2024, we might sneak in if it's not be, we can invest back in Salone. Now in November, the investors women don't begin say they'll come for Christmas for begin evaluate the system. They don't push them off. And I'm glad that it did not call for a state of emergency, because if it do that, it sets the country, 24 is out already. The earliest investors will come back to Sierra Leone. Now, after this coup investigation done, they know say there is peace. So it's a simple message to the president. Show your people you love them and care for Sierra Leoneans. You know, we are not a different people. Southerners are not different from Northerners. Northerners are not different from Easterners. Easterners are not different from Westerners. Me land that through Hope for Youth, the amazing organization of these great youths who I get from Bond, Pujao, Kono, Kenema, Cambia, Otloko, Bombali. They are the same people. And I'm glad they don't take the middle of the road. And so the president then get the biggest microphone. When you speak, people listen. And now, you don't want 5 years, you get for one another 5 years. It's time you bring in meritocracy. Hire people based on their skills, not because they're the SLPP. You have nothing to lose now but to get a great legacy. Is it at the top to you now, President Bill? If you want your legacy to be strong, you don't do all what you for do in the first 6 years to please your party, your constituency, and all of that stuff. The next 4 years, show Sierra Leoneans that you love them. Meritocracy, end corruption, build we nation, all man will support you. Your legacy will be strong in the next 4 years, regardless of whether you're APC. And to APC, let we forget election is over, no more campaign, no more propaganda. We are not doing ourselves any good with this propaganda and campaign where election not there. And with the effect we serve. And your people, our people, we all they suffer when we try to create all of these little things relating to what has happened. And like the caller says, I think we need to emphasize it. Half democracy is better than no democracy. People register to vote, they pick the ID card, they went to the polls. That's half democracy. And we know it's still in place. The Constitution supports that. So thank you, Ms. Matilda.
Taxation hike without increases in salaries. And now we have security uncertainties. I'll use that word, security uncertainties in the country. We have a joint communique. We have a president who's now realized, according to what you read from the speech, that it is not about politics, it's not about pointing fingers. Let the law work independently, the way it's supposed to work, without influence, yet to be seen. What's the way forward?
Question for me?
Yes, sir. What's the way forward?
So the way forward, the president therefore make a good faith effort. One, to build democracy. He has to be intentional on democracy. Because that's one where you start believing, people start believing in you. Two, we get for build the economy around the God-given resources, agriculture, fisheries, and natural resources. I know they say feed the nation, but if you not plant, you know the harvest. Plus you take imported food, go feed them. We don't allow all our youths for left all the towns and villages for can sell top up, and drive Okada and Keke. We have to find a way to attract them back to their ancestral lands. We not get fishermen again, pass to go buy cartoon fish. We not get agricultural peace, pass to go buy whatever it is, import. So we have to build our economy around agriculture. The result may not show during his presidency because it's late. Because the season they can next year, I don't finish 1 year, but I tell you dig and plant. For plant cassava self now 2 years, so now 2027 to 28 with the harvest now. But the important thing is eliminate corruption. and go with meritocracy. It's not too late. These people who allowed the breach to happen, to put the lives of Sierra Leoneans in danger, there has to be a commission of inquiry on their side. Let the coup attempt law go on. The president therefore set a commission of inquiry. Where did we find this breakdown and military? And for let the general and the major general and whosoever in charge of the ammunition dump address the nation for a commission of inquiry on how did this happen so it's not going to happen again. That breach put the life of the president in danger if this was a coup. He should not take it lightly to go sit with these same people to say, job well done and I defend democracy. We could have defended democracy by putting extra padlock at the army. That would have solved the problem. It solved the problem. And then we have to look at trust, transparency, and accountability. Now the president, they come and the centrist points, they talk to we, but we get for trust him. He disappeared for 20 hours before we hear from our president. The president therefore know that he is the symbol of our nation. Even if that pajamas in me wear self, that the video from the bush will go gladly to say our president escaped. Look at this in pajamas, and they broadcast to the nation to say, I am well. We need to attract investors, but we only attract them when we have a secure nation. If we're not secure, without security, nobody not go put in the place that country where ragtag hooligans that want to take over the government, then go crack the padlock, go take 2-3 guns, they run that street. That's not a safe country for people to bring their money. It shows our weakness. It shows our weakness. And basic amenities. Electricity, CCTV not been there. Light. We need to work on that. And that's what MCC. Above all, we have to build an educational system. So our country is broken and we need to fix it. And it's not just the role of the president, but every citizen where they listen today. Get a role for play. As John F. Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. If we all do for Salone, Salone will be better. We don't need the president for do for we. So what, Mr. President and government, you are not an SLPP president. You are not the Southern president. You are the president of Sierra Leone, not East, South, and West. Lead us. Some of us, we've accepted your symbol of leadership. We're not going to forfeit anymore. If you build, we will take over to build, continue to build. The presidency is a relay, not a sprint. That's all I have to say, and thanks to all. SLPP, APC, let's work together. We are the same nation. Unity, peace, and that the president they ask for at this time. Let's listen. Thank you.
Ask what not your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Do you have any intentions of running for the flag bearership of the APC party in the next coming elections?
I'm not even close to any of that thought process. I don't think I even have an insight to get there. I think my vision for Sierra Leone is to build democracy. My vision for Sierra Leone is to make sure the Sierra Leonean people are taken care of. My vision for Sierra Leone is hope for the youths then, so that they will have an opportunity to grow and to build. Yes, I support the APC. And if they come up with a good policy leader, I would support that. And I hope they come up with a strong flag bearer, given everything where that happened. But I've not entertained that thought. I'm a newbie in the APC party. And Pikiwe then just born yesterday, not going to go lead in Papa, in Mama, in Granny, and in Uncle then. And so the answer is no.
Africa 24, I'm coming home to work for Sierra Leone. What should Sierra Leonean make of that?
First of all, let me put a disclaimer to that. One, I've never heard about Africa 24. One of me, Hope for Youth member, Hassan Din Koma, wherever you are, Hope Sitting Day on tonight, Hope for Youth, yes, you are the best. call me and say, Doc, you don't see this article where somebody write about you? I said, no. He said, you know about that? I said, I have no idea. So I Googled Africa 24. I don't even know, say they get a newspaper. We name Africa 24. I read the article myself and I was pleasantly surprised. But to work for Sierra Leone is what I'm doing. I'm already working for Sierra Leone right now as I sit here. Now, Salone they work for so. They appeal for peace, unity, to bridge between Northerners, Easterners, Southerners, which I've done. In Hope for Youth, I get chapter na Kono Kenema, Bond Pujon, Moyamba, Cambia, Tonkolili, Potloko, Bombali, Western area from Wellington to Juba. So I'm already working for Sierra Leone. I work on Kush issue. During COVID, I worked on COVID issue. During the elections, we worked on peace. We go talk to school picking across the country. And to date, we've talked to over 100 schools from Bonn all the way up north, from Kono to Western area. We've touched the lives of over 50,000 youths. That is working for Sierra Leone. I get a soccer team. Na Cambia, I get a soccer team. Na Lunge, we are struggling. We produce Gari, na Moyamba. I think that's working for Sierra Leone. You know, Sierra Leoneans, you don't have to be in politics to work for your country. You don't have to be in politics to work for your country. You just have to be sincere and be patriotic. And that's what I've done, and that's who I am. Somebody wait still and get political appointment to work for the country. I've been doing this for 3 years with a small group of folks and sponsors like Cotton Pharmacy and people like you. So if you don't call that working for your country, I don't know what it is. Yes, I am working for Sierra Leone, and I will continue to do so until I die. And the green, white, and blue would be on top of my casket.
Should there be a rise or a demand by the nation to say, Dr. Bull, we think you are the one, would you consider it?
Hypotheses don't work in politics. Politics, Sierra Leone politics, is ingrained in a way that is very deeply rooted in traditions. And so those hypotheses don't create castles in the air, because that's when you destabilize yourself from the things that we do. When you start thinking that you are more important than you are. I'm an ordinary citizen, and I would remain an ordinary citizen. And like I said, I've not been to Sierra Leone in the last 6 years, and people don't know me, and I would be foolish enough to really start thinking outside of what I'm doing to think politics and political ambition would truly distract me from the work what I do. I believe is God's ministry for save people and from dying from Kush, for rescue girls from early marriages, for picking them na university and border their way through my organization with the pay school fee for them, women, girls, children, girl, child, to reduce rape in Sierra Leone, to reduce prostitution. That is my work. And to be a strong advocate for people who cannot speak for themselves. That should not be political, and that should not be a stepping stone to politics. And so I don't work on hypotheses. My job is more important than any president who had to do for me. Because I go work on a treat, nobody no go attempt to coup me. Nobody no go beat me. I'm not scared. I'm happy, and I'm satisfied with what I've achieved in America, and I want to share the love.
I am satisfied, I am happy, and I am content with what I have achieved in America, and I want to share the love. Fumble them. Those were the last words of Dr. Prince Icyball. Thank you very much for joining us today. And we fumble them. I hope say any side usai una fenuna se. I hope life would treat you well this week. We continue for say we love Mama Salone, and we pray and hope for the best of Mama Salone. Until then, I go say tata.
Sierra Leone, Kush. Yeah, my killer, this is for you them. Hope for you, sir.
Yeah, I say we say not so good. Hope for you, say not so good. I say we say not so good. Yeah, me are the feeling what I can run behind. We are the see me brother them, they die in the street. Oh, me are the feeling. We are the see me sister them in the street. Yeah, some they lean, they not, some lay down a guts are they sleep. Oh. So when I ask them, tell me say na kush, na in the pool boy like son of them